why a base level trim in a luxury brand is just a glorified nameplate. Let me explain. Do you know why luxury brands overall don't have as many standard features as non-luxury brands? The answer's simple. They can charge you for those extras. I remember so clearly back in the 90s when I could literally count on one hand how many different models were offered by the likes of, say, BMW and Mercedes. Compare those numbers to today and it's a multiple of 2 or 3 more quite easily because they've made their brand more accessible to the general public. The reason why that has happened is because at one point in time the luxury brands realized that they could increase their profits if they made their models more accessible to the general public. So ask yourself, how is it possible that that manufacturer can now produce a vehicle that is far cheaper than what it used to be? It's quite simple. You cut corners. And that brings me to why I have such a strong opinion against base trim levels, especially in an entry-level model. Back in the day when I was selling Land Rovers and Jags, nothing yanked my chain more than seeing new marketing campaigns coming out by the manufacturer on social media platforms. Credit where it's due, those marketing campaigns did work and lots of people kept on calling in saying that they were interested in leasing a base Range Rover Evoque for $600 a month. And if by chance we actually had a base Range Rover Evoque in this example in stock, that $600 was generally about $750, and people would always get pissed off, and quite rightly so. That was a bit of a tangent, but now that I've got my rant out the way about how anti I am these ads by manufacturers, I want to get back to why a base trim level in a luxury car is a big no-no. I can empathize with the fact that you see a number advertised that almost seems too good to be true, and in all reality it probably is. But let's say you do find a base trim and the advertised number is actually correct. The problem still remains with that vehicle is that it's going to be missing a lot of the features that are important to you. That is why I always suggested to all my customers in the past to look at a middle trim level and up. At this point you can say, well Bill, middle trim level or up in that particular model is simply not an option for me. And that's great to know that because that just simply means you need to consider other options. If you were considering a base trim in a brand new vehicle, what options do you have for maybe something that's gently used but upper trim level? This video isn't to say that everyone that's bought a base trim level in luxury brand has had an awful experience. Not at all. But the message I am trying to convey in this video is that if you are seriously entertaining the idea of a base trim in an entry-level model within a luxury brand, please look at other options. Ideally, a middle trim level or up, or potentially a used vehicle within the same brand.